Hello, my name is Dawn and I'm the Ginger Cat Stitcher. Thanks for joining me today. This is my Flosstube channel, the Ginger Cat Stitcher, and on it I like to share my journey back into cross stitch. I started stitching about 30 years ago, and then in the mid-90s took a break and did other things, and now I'm returning to it. So this is kind of just documenting my journey back into cross stitch. And then I also like to do how-to videos. I love creating things, maybe to make our stitching easier or prettier, or just something fun to have around. So I do how-to videos, and then I also like to share some finishing ideas with you. So if you like those types of things, welcome to my channel. So today is a Flosstube video for you. And it's a Flosstube kind of about a journey down the eBay rabbit hole. So I kind of got sidetracked on eBay one day looking at kits. All of a sudden, it was like every Flosstube that I looked at, it was about people stitching kits, or they were doing a haul about the kits that they got. And so I went onto eBay, started looking at the kits, and I was, oh, these are beautiful. And then I stumbled across some vintage kits. I was like, oh, I really, really like those. And so I purchased some. So that's what my stitching has been all about lately, is the vintage kits. So the first one that I have is by Country Stitching, and it's called the Embroidery Lesson. And this one just really spoke to my heart. It's a mom teaching her little girl all her first embroidery. I just loved the colors. So I picked up that one, and it came with all of the floss, and the floss indeed was very pretty colors. I'm not a huge fan of this type of floss. I'm thinking that it is the Country Stitches brand. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a little on the rough side. It's not as smooth as DMC. So, I mean, it's working out great, and I really like the colors. It's just, if I had to complain about something, that's what I would complain about. And then the pattern is printed on this beautiful linen. So I'll do a back video so you can, or a shot so you can see. And then I'll bring it up in. So I'm really enjoying how fast this goes. And I'm going to lay it down, and I'll flip the camera around so you can have a better view of it. So here it is. And like I said, it's stamped on this beautiful linen. And I think the colors are coming out beautiful. So after just a couple nights, I'm this far along on it. So that's this one. It's Country Stitching, the Embroidery Lesson. And again, I found that on eBay. Then the next one that I bought, it's another one by Country Stitching. This one's called River's Edge Sampler. And I particularly loved the border. Get that up so close so you can see. And I liked the swans in the river. That reminded me of my mom. She really loves swans. So again, this one came on a beautiful piece of linen. And this one's a big girl. She is 16 by 20. So I decided that instead of using the threads that came with it, which were all Anchor and JP coats, that I would go to my local cross stitch store, the Golden Needle here in New Braunfels, Texas, and the owner, Lisa, helped me pick out some beautiful overdyes to replace. So this really pretty old oak tree, it's kind of greens and rusts. This is what the border is going to be. And then instead of just the flat black for these numbers here, I got the onyx, which is a really lovely gray to black for those. And then instead of just the flat green, I got the Threadworks over dyed floss for the trees and the grass. The water and the top alphabet are going to be in the glacial melt. And then we have the licorice red and the clockwork. So I'm anxious to see how this works up on this really nice linen with these beautiful over-dyed flosses. I know they'll be a pleasure to work with. So I'm anxious to see how it changes up the kit and elevates the design, I think. So that is my second one that I purchased. So let's fold her up. So that's my current cross stitch whip. Then as I was going down the rabbit hole of eBay, I started coming across all kinds of perforated paper patterns. And this is an older one. I can't find a date on it, but it looks kind of 80s to me. It's by Wilmauer Crafts and Astor Place. It's perforated paper, a house for all seasons. So it takes 3 9 by 12 sheets of perforated paper. And what you do is you stitch and then put together this basic house. And then all of these little accessories are stitched separately, and then they're added to the house for each season. So we have winter and Christmas. And then this one is the spring house. And then you add a piece of lace back behind the curtain. Back behind the windows for the curtains. I thought that was adorable. And here's your summertime accessories, your fall and winter, and your Halloween. So I just had to grab it. I think it was like $4 with free shipping. I just had to get it. So this will be an eventual whip. So that perforated paper house just looks like so much fun, doesn't it? So my next whip is, excuse me, I've been battling a head cold. So my next whip is not cross stitch, but it's embroidery. And my local needle workshop, like I said, the Golden Needle in New Braunfels. Lisa was doing a class where you purchase the kit to make a book of embroidery stitches. So you purchase the kit and it comes with everything that you need, and then you go to her bi-weekly for a class. And when you're done, you'll have a 20-page book of embroidery stitches so that you can always look back and reference, and you can add these to your cross stitch pieces or any other place where you want to add some embroidery. So the kit is from underthegardenmoon.com. So she's the designer of the kit, and she has lots of really, really cute patterns on her website. So it's underthegardenmoon.com. And I'm going to switch the camera around and share my pages with you that I have finished so far. Okay, so in our first class, we did page 1 and page 4. So they're going to get, cut out and stitched together and put into a book. I'll just show you here, page 1. Sampler book of embroidery stitches. I'm nearly finished. I just, I did the pistol stitch, which was new to me. I've never done that before. And then it gets another pistol stitch down here, and then I have to finish the flowers going around with the Lazy Daisy and the Colonial Knot. And the lettering was all back stitch and then whipped, so it's the whipped back stitch. I've never done that before, and the back stitch isn't one of my personal favorites because of how stitched it looks. I don't know what else to say about that, but there's, you know, just all the little spaces between the thread holes. I don't care for that so much, but once you whip it, it just smooths out the whole thing. So I will definitely be using the whipped back stitch in the future. And then page 4, we have the stem stitch, which is the outline, and then filled the middle with different stitches. And this one is Colonial Knot, and believe it or not, I had never, believe it or not, this is my first time doing it. So I really love that stitch. I've done French knots before, but not that one. And then we have the running stitch, the whipped running stitch, and this one I just loved, the threaded running stitch. Be really cute on a trim of some sort. So that was our first class. And then the second class, we worked on page 2 and page 3. Page 2 and 3 are all the buttonhole stitch. So just the regular one. And then the blanket stitch is just a variation of the buttonhole stitch. It's just spread out wider. And the knotted buttonhole stitch, that's not something I've ever done before. It was a little challenging to figure it out at first, but then Lisa was so great at demonstrating it that I got it. And then the crossed buttonhole stitch. And then over here, the button wheel. So it's still the buttonhole stitch. You're just stitching it in a circle, and then it just depends on whether the solid bar is on the inside or the outside. So that's it. So those are the pages. That's as far as I've gotten so far. This is going to go through the beginning of November. So I'll be anxious to share with you my progress as we work our way through the pages of this book. And so I'm going to go work putting some more stitches into my embroidery lesson sampler. And I hope that you give some stamped embroidery a try. It is a wonderful brain break from counted cross stitch. I just truly love how there's no counting. It's kind of just glance at the chart, glance at the picture, okay, pick that color, and just stitch away. So it is a really nice break from the counted cross stitch, and I think these beautiful old vintage kits are definitely worth saving. So it's a lot of fun. So that's all the stitching for you that I have this time. I've been very sick for the past week, and I wasn't even able to stitch. So this is all I have done to share with you today. So I wish, and I forgot one thing that I wanted to share with you. We have 2 cats, and we have Percy, who is our ginger cat, and then we have Finley, who is our kitten, and he's kind of a gray and white, kind of a mix up of a whole bunch of colors. So anyways, I wanted to share with you the intelligence of the ginger cat and the quirkiness of the kitten. So I'll insert a picture right here. Do a week full of stitching, and I'll see you next Sunday with a how-to video.